Welcome everyone to the fifth semester. This semester I will be dealing with the paper Introduction to Linguistics. So let's begin with what linguistics is. Linguistics is a scientific study of the history and development of a language. Not only that, but also its structure, which includes its grammar, syntax, phonetics, etc. So it is not just a simple study, it is a scientific study. തെളിവുകൾ വേണം, എന്നാലേ അത് സയൻറ്റിഫിക് സ്റ്റഡി ആവുന്നുള്ളൂ. ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു ലാംഗ്വേജ് എടുത്തിട്ട് അത് വേറൊരു ലാംഗ്വേജുമായിട്ട് ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് കിടക്കുന്നു എന്ന് വെറുതെ നമുക്കങ്ങ് പറയാൻ പറ്റില്ല. യു നീഡ് ടു പ്രൊവൈഡ് എവിഡൻസ് ആൻഡ് ദാറ്റ് മേക്സ് എ സയൻറ്റിഫിക് സ്റ്റഡി. And also, a linguist studies the structure of a language, the grammar, syntax. Syntax is how certain words are used together to form meaning. In phonetics, you already know phonetics, the sound system, and how sounds are produced, and all these things contribute to linguistics. Now, who is a linguist? A linguist is obviously someone who studies the different aspects of language, but never confuse it with the term polyglot. Usually, students are under the impression that a linguist is someone who has a capability of using many languages. It is wrong. It is a polyglot who is a person who is able to use several languages. A linguist may or may not know several languages. അയാൾക്ക് അറിയാമായിരിക്കാം, അറിയില്ലായിരിക്കാം. That is, but it is desirable if he knows many languages, knows how to use many languages. A polyglot need not be a linguist. In one way or the other, we are all polyglots. We know Malayalam, English. Uh, for some of us, we know Tamil. Some of us know Kannada. Some of us know Hindi as well. So we know how to use all these languages, but that doesn't mean we are linguists, because we do not study all these languages and its different aspects in depth. We just use them. So those people who just use different languages are called polyglots, whereas a linguist is someone who studies languages in depth. Now let's take a look at the different theories regarding the origin of language. It is believed that language developed 200,000 years ago, and there are different theories as to how language developed. Now, keep in mind that these are all theories. ഇതെല്ലാം തിയറികളാണ്. You need to provide evidence to prove these theories. So there are not many evidences to prove exactly how and when language began. So let's just take a look at some of the theories. The first theory is the divine theory. Divine theory, from the name itself, divine meaning God, something related to God. So the divine theory states that language was gifted to humanity by gods. So this is you cannot rely on this theory, because linguistics, as I told you, is a scientific study. The scientific study എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ you cannot just say that language was one fine day gifted by gods to humans. No, that is not a strong theory, but nevertheless it is a theory which is there. So the next theory is called the bow wow theory. Yes, bow wow is the sound which is made by a dog. Now, why this theory is called the bow wow theory is because the theory says that language began by the imitation of sounds in nature. Humans started imitating sounds that they heard around them, and that is how language began. And the evidence, one evidence of that is the presence of onomatopic words in different languages. Especially in English, we have onomatopic words as words that sound similar to the noises they describe. For example, the splashing of water. The word itself resembles the very act. Or the word cuckoo, for example. Cuckoo is a bird, and it is known as the cuckoo because of the sound it makes, which resembles the sound cuckoo. So onomatopic words are, it's an evidence to show that language began by the imitation of sounds in nature. But you all know that you know uh, there are not just onomatopic words. Onomatopic words form only a very minute percentage of words in a language. There are many other words as well. So this is not hard evidence. Now, the next theory is the pooh-pooh theory. Pooh-pooh theory means language may have come from the natural cries of emotion. അതായത് ഇമോഷൻ ലൈക്ക് പെയിൻ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സർപ്രൈസ്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും സന്തോഷം, ഇതൊക്കെ വരുമ്പോൾ we express all these emotions through sudden sounds like ouch, or when you see something exciting you say wow, or when you feel pain you say ah. So all these are natural cries of emotion. So the pooh-pooh theory states that language may have come from natural cries of emotion. And these two theories, the bow wow and pooh-pooh, they were put forward by a Danish linguist, Otto Jespersen. Danish meaning that he is from Denmark. Now, the next theory is the yo-he-ho theory. The yo-he-ho theory states that language may have developed from the grunts and chants that humans made when they were involved in intense physical effort, or a kind of coordinated physical efforts. എന്തെങ്കിലും ഭാരമുള്ള സാധനങ്ങൾ മൂവ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്ന ഒരു റിഥം ഉണ്ടാവാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്ന ശബ്ദങ്ങളിൽ നിന്നും ലാംഗ്വേജ് ഉത്ഭവിച്ചു എന്ന് പറയുന്നതാണ് യോ ഹി ഹോ തിയറി. മറ്റ് തിയറികളിൽ നിന്നും ഇതിൻ്റെ വ്യത്യാസം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഇറ്റ് ഗിവ്സ് എ സോഷ്യൽ കോണ്ടെക്സ്റ്റ് ടു ലാംഗ്വേജ് ഒറിജിൻ. ബിക്കോസ് ഇതിൽ ആണ് ഒരു എന്താ പറയുക, ഒരു കോർഡിനേറ്റഡ് ഫിസിക്കൽ എഫർട്ട് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. It gives a social context because it involves people coming together. Now, the next one is a physical adaptation theory. Physical adaptation theory is much better than the other theories, because the physical adaptation theory says that since all the other animals, or most of the other animals, are for they depend on 4 feet locomotion, whereas humans are bipedals. They are they move on 2 feet, and this actually causes a significant change in the breathing pattern, because when it comes to animals, for them breathing is one step, one breath. For us humans, we are on 2 feet, so we have the ability to control our breath, hold our breath longer in our lungs. So that gives us a significant advantage over animals to manipulate these sounds into words. So there are other physical advantages also, because for us, if you look at our vocal tract from the mouth to the lungs, it is in L shape. From the mouth, if you draw a line from the mouth to your lungs, it will be in L shape, whereas for animals it is a straight line because they are on 4 legs. So this actually gives an advantage for humans in manipulating sounds by being able to hold their breath. So the next theory is the tool making theory. Tool making theory says that human beings, as they evolved, they started making tools out of objects, tools out of rocks. They sharpened rocks and made use of those sharp rocks to do other stuff. They tied it to um, a long or heavy stick and made it into hammers, axes, etc. So they were able to manipulate everyday objects, bring them together to form tools. So uh, the development of tool making by manipulating different objects may have triggered the development of that part of the brain associated with speech, because uh, speech is also like bringing together of different sounds, like how they manipulated everyday objects into tools. They managed to manipulate the sounds they produce into coordinated speech. Then the last theory is the genetic theory. The genetic theory states that language is inborn. It is an inborn capacity of humans. No other animal is born with that capacity. It is in our genes, it is in our DNA, and that is why we are able to speak. So, these are the different theories associated with the origin of language. Thank you.